Peacemaker Season 2 might have a narrative apparatus that could connect the DCU with the DCEU. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Peacemaker Season 2 has revealed that there is likely going to be a second version of the character running around in the story. Fans have speculated that the character might find himself jumping dimensions, or at least visiting pocket dimensions as a part of his story. This could actually lead him to enter the new and improved DCU, or perhaps he exists in the latter already and is going to enter the DCU instead. Peacemaker Season 2 might have a narrative apparatus that could connect the DCU with the DCU. Peacemaker Season 2 is right around the corner, being one of the few projects that got carried over from the DCU to the DCU. The first and likely only legacy project from Zack Snyder's iteration of the DC universe, fans have already begun speculation about how the series could bridge the two universes. A theory has risen thanks to the trailer footage that has been released, which shows Peacemaker facing off with what looks like a doppelganger of himself. Fans have speculated that this might actually be the DCU Peacemaker fighting the DCU Peacemaker. The trailer for Peacemaker Season 2 showed audiences that Maxwell Lord, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl will be a part of the story. It is not yet known if this is going to be an extended cameo. These characters are actually going to have some narrative presence. Exploring the Snyderverse could see the character interacting with different versions of characters from the DCU, at least the ones that are going to carry over into the new universe. This could create a situation where the DCU's Peacemaker is the one who continues as the Peacemaker of the DCU, while the other one perishes in the conflict. Essentially, the show could be following two separate Peacemakers, and fans might not know which is which because they lead such similar lives until it all comes to a head in the scene that closes out the trailer. Given that Season 1 saw a brief cameo from two DCU Justice Leaguers in the form of Jason Momoa's Aquaman and Ezra Miller's The Flash, one could assume that the scene that fans saw in the trailer is the only likely appearance of these characters before they are called away to deal with the issues of James Gunn's Superman. The DCU is set to be a bold new step for Warner Brothers after the DCU failed to be any sort of commercial or critical hit. However, it does seem unlikely that the franchise will visit the DCU anytime soon, given how much of issues it was leading up to James Gunn's new and improved take on the franchise. Zack Snyder seemed to be a very big fan of Rick and Morty, even summoning Dan Harmon to Warner Brothers to discuss making a film. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Although Rick and Morty has been running strong for many years now, many fans have been hoping for some kind of film from it. Some live-action attempts have been made by fans. However, they never hit as well as the series does. With its ability to turn everything into a joke and still be able to sneak in some existential dread, it is safe to say that Dan Harmon knows what to do with the series. Thankfully, the idea of a film has also crossed his mind. Rick and Morty will last 100 years. This is a fact established within and outside the series. In addition to Rick constantly declaring that the show will run for many years, the creator of the show, Dan Harmon, has also made it clear that the goal for the show is to make thousands of episodes. With this already set up, one would assume that the only problem the creators and writers would now have is making special episodes and keeping the quality consistent. However, it would seem that television isn't the only medium that the scientist and his grandson want to dominate. Harmon has set up a movie in the story's future, and it has a very big-name director attached to it. While the director has been focusing on individual projects as of late, he is best known for creating classic films like Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and 300. When he is not making iconic films like these, he seems to be just like the rest of us, devotedly following the lives of Morty and Rick. Not him saying, "I get to do it," or anything like that. He was totally a super fan and was just like, "Is there any way I can help get that movie started by using my Snyderness?" At the same time, the person who could be involved with the project seems more interesting than the pitch itself. In a 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Harmon revealed that he was summoned to Warner Brothers by Zack Snyder himself. While a layman would have jumped at the opportunity to have Zack Snyder working on a movie for their very successful show, Dan Harmon was wiser than that. He understood the appeal of Rick and Morty and knew that he could make his demands very high when telling the director his vision for the hypothetical film. Harmon revealed that Snyder summoned him not from a position of authority, but as a fan of the series himself. The director wanted to convince Harmon to make a film with these characters, wanting to be a part of it in some way or another. He even joked that he could jumpstart the project with his Snyderness. The show's creator seems committed to his jokes, even when he faces the people he is making fun of. Harmon continued the gag and mentioned that they will first release a Snyder cut of the film, then a director's cut. They will then ensure that the film is 6 hours long, with half of it in black and white. Harmon stated that the film would be coming soon, and the story he put forth was extremely interesting. A year before Snyder approached Harmon about the film, The Rick, a more well-lived episode from Season 6 directly poked fun at the Snyder cut of Justice League, joking that 8% of it was just Batman dreaming. So, the Rick and Morty movie is coming as soon as Zack Snyder gets back from his vacation, because I want to start with a Snyder cut of that movie and then I want to do the director's cut of a Snyder cut release, so we can just have a 6-hour Rick and Morty movie and 3 hours of it is in black and white. No updates have come from this since, and the creators seem to be focused on the release of the 8th season. However, seeing a 6-hour-long film featuring black and white Rick and Morty, handcrafted by Snyder himself, would be extremely interesting. Ben Affleck may have had the worst experience as Batman in Zack Snyder's DCEU, but he had a pretty good ending with The Flash. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Ben Affleck's tenure in the DCEU has been nothing short of torture for the actor. The Good Will Hunting star seemed to be so done with the experience that he swore off the superhero genre via GQ. He never had a solo movie and was only in team-up films like BVS and Justice League, but the pressure was already too much. Ben Affleck revealed his favorite scene from the DCEU as Batman, and it is not in any of Zack Snyder's movies. Affleck began his tenure as the Caped Crusader in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and had a terrible time due to studio interference and mismanagement. His final appearance as Batman was in The Flash. Affleck revealed that some of his favorite moments as Batman were in the Andy Muschietti-directed movie. He said that with a scene in The Flash, he finally figured out what the character was all about, something which he could not grasp in Zack Snyder's movies, via Harold's Son. Maybe my favorite scenes in terms of Batman and the interpretation of Batman that I have done were in the Flash movie. I hope they maintain the integrity of what we did because I thought it was great and really interesting, different, but not in a way that is incongruent with the character. When I went and did it, it was really fun and really satisfying and encouraging, and I thought, wow, I think I have finally figured it out. While the actor has been respectful towards Zack Snyder, the filmmaker's takes on Batman and Superman have long been controversial, with many criticizing the overly dark and gritty nature of the movies. His understanding of Batman as a man who cannot go past his trauma was rectified in The Flash. Bruce cautions him against time travel and the butterfly effect it will cause on the present universe, to which Barry offers to save his parents, too. Ben Affleck, however, is not attracted by this proposition. He tells him that there is nothing broken about them despite their tragedies and that they were not meant to go back to fix them. Affleck's favorite scene shows a healed Bruce Wayne, who does not use the cape and cowl to deal with the trauma of losing his parents, but to grow from it and become a man responsible for his actions and journey. His advice to Barry proves that a trauma that he wished he could reverse for most of his life does not deter him anymore, and he has now truly become a hero. Affleck's favorite moment as Batman came in The Flash, which was his final performance.